guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Brianna, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. My kids are not in this video. They're actually outside, so if you see me looking that way, I am watching them out the window. Autumn is in the bed. She's supposed to be sleeping, but you can probably hear her talking. So today's video is going to be about what it's like to be a mom living with mental illness. As you can see, my filming location has changed. My daughter is watching Netflix in her room, so I kind of got kicked out. So I am now in my bedroom, so ignore everything around me. So I have a little list right here, so if I'm looking down, I'm just kind of, checking over it to make sure I don't skip anything. But this video is going to be about what it's like living with mental illness, maybe some tips for those who live with somebody who struggles with mental illness, and things of that nature. So those of you who don't know me personally, I have been diagnosed with major depressive disorder, severe anxiety disorder with dissociation, post-traumatic stress disorder, and as a teenager I was diagnosed with anorexia. So we're just kind of going to start with what it's like to be me for a day, a mom of 4 living with different types of mental illness. So the first things I'm kind of going to go over is things that I need to keep me calm and to keep me at my best. So I need schedule, I need structure and routine. So like everything goes the same every day. Like Autumn gets up around the same time, she eats lunch at the same time, she takes a nap at the same time, things like that. So if I don't have a schedule for my day, I kind of feel out of control and hectic. So I get very anxious. So like if there's something I need to do that's later in the night, I either have to leave Autumn here with her oldest sister to keep her, or with a babysitter, because I cannot keep Autumn up past her bedtime because then she gets grumpy and I get anxious. So yeah, another thing that this kind of goes for all moms, we need a break. We need for the dads to come home from work or from whatever they're doing and to be like, here, go take a shower, or go do something while I take care of the kids. Like, go let me have lunch, go do something, you know what I mean? I think all moms deserve that break because we just need that quietness, because everything's just so loud all the time. So we just kind of need quiet, I guess. And just because we need time away from our kids does not mean we are bad moms. Does not mean anything like that, because all moms deserve time to themselves. Yes, when you have a kid, it's not about you anymore, but to be a good mom, you have to be a happy person. You have to be a happy mom. So to do that, you need peace of mind. So as a mom with mental illness, I feel like the #1 challenge we face is the stigma surrounding it. People think that we are unsafe because of the things we deal with. They think that we're going to hurt ourselves or our children or other people. Now, some people with mental illness, they do have issues with thinking that kind of thing. Personally, I don't. And a lot of people don't, so don't automatically assume that just because I have anxiety or depression that I'm gonna hurt my kids. So another thing that I deal with is that like the daily struggles that every casual mom faces is amplified times about 1,000. Like going to the store is not just walking out the door, getting in the car, and going to the store. In my head, I see it as like, okay, I have to get my shoes on, I have to get her shoes on, and then I have to fight with her to keep her shoes on in the car. And then I have to go get gas before I go to the store, and then I have to go to the store, and then I have to get her out and put her in the car. Like, it's just, everything is just so amplified. Like, I think of everything structured. So it's hectic. Like cooking dinner, I think out everything before I do it. Like, I have to think, what do I need to start first? How am I going to do this? Like, are the kids going to be able to help me? Like, am I going to be able to handle all these people in the kitchen all at once? So things are very amplified for me. Just the simple tasks are difficult for me most days. So, as a mom whose parents have struggled with different types of depression and anxiety, I feel like it's possible for my daughter to get it, like hereditary. So, I'm really nervous because it's, the statistics that they're like 12 times more likely to develop one than someone whose parent hasn't struggled with it. So that bothers me and that makes me anxious because I don't want that for her. I want everything in the world for my kids, and I don't want them to have to go through the daily struggle that I go to or that they've watched me go through every day. So kind of going along those lines, we speak about my issues in my house. Some people hide it and are ashamed of it because of the stigma. Some people just feel like it's an internal struggle, so they don't talk about it. I've always been one to talk about my issues. My kids know that I deal with anxiety and depression. I'm on medication. The kids knew when I got on the medication. They knew because I needed it, and so it was getting really bad before I got on the medication. So like they can kind of understand like the hormonal imbalances as I was like getting on the medication and like leveling out and everything. So if I wasn't myself, they kind of understood. But also with my kids knowing that I do struggle sometimes, it makes me, I guess, seem more like human to them. I don't know. I just feel like, and they can help me with it. Like when I'm having a really hard day with my toddler, my 14-year-old daughter kind of helps me, calm down. She's like, hey, you can go take a bath if you want to. I'll, watch her. I can feed her lunch, that kind of thing. So being open about your struggles can have such a big impact. Excuse me. On how your issues get handled. So I strongly advise being open and not being ashamed to talk about it. So another thing that I think all moms face that is incredibly amplified for us moms is the guilt that we face. Like sometimes I can't handle it. If my toddler is exhausted and fussy, I will put her to bed a little bit early. And then I feel so guilty because I could be spending those last 10-15 minutes with her playing. And I put her to bed every night, promising her that I'll be a better mom tomorrow. To her, I'm always the best mom, and I know that. And so all my other kids, they know all the issues. So if I tell them no, or if I yell at them over small things because my anxiety is really high, I feel terrible, and I feel like they deserve more. But I know that I'm doing everything I can for them and for myself. So another problem that I have is that my toddler, her cries give me severe sensory overload. So I deal with sound sensory overload. So like if there's a lot of noise going on, I'm just like I use my hands to like release it a little bit, like the tension. But like when my 8-year-old's running through the house singing and my toddler's crying and my 12-year-old is yelling at his friends over Fortnite and my 14-year-old's listening to music, like it's too much for me. So I kind of just shut down. So like when my toddler's whining and like climbing all over me and like, thinking about it is like terrifying. So I have to kind of figure out the proper way to deal with that without exploding and crying and yelling, because it's not their fault. They're just being kids. But for me, it is very difficult to do. Another thing is sleep deprivation is terrible for people with mental illness. And I've talked to multiple people, and it is not just me. Now, when my daughter was newborn, I struggled with this a little bit more than I do now. But if I go more than like a couple days without getting like a really good amount of sleep, I turn into a ball of just mush. Like I just cry over everything. Like there was a piece of paper on the floor, and my son walked over it instead of picking it up, and I just started screaming, and then I cried because I screamed and I felt bad. Like, not sleeping is not good for anybody. So just get the right amount of sleep. If you need someone to watch your kids while you take a nap, just do what you need to do for yourself, because taking care of yourself is the most important thing, because you can't take care of your kids until you can take care of yourself. So kind of my whole point of this video is to express that moms with mental illnesses can be amazing moms. If you're struggling and you think you might need medication, I strongly urge you to get on that, because I am a completely different person with my medication than I am without it, and it's for the better. It's not my happy pill, it's just something to help me feel better. It's like when you're sick, you take cold medicine and it makes you feel better. That's kind of what it's like for me. I see such a huge difference when I don't take it, so I urge everybody to get the help you need, whether it be talking to somebody or just confiding in a friend or a break from your kids or anything like that. I urge you to seek the help that you need. Now, this is for those of you watching that don't have a mental illness, that maybe lives with somebody who does. My husband probably can give you better advice on how he deals with me than I can, but he is superhuman when it comes to dealing with my mental illness. He knows exactly what I need when I need it. He is, he knows when to give me the tough love. He knows when to just cuddle me and let me cry. He, can always let me go take a nap if I'm tired, or take a hot bath, things like that. So just give her time to herself and give her time to recharge her mind. Just give them space to breathe and to figure things out, because we're all just trying to figure ourselves out. Being a mom is difficult, but being a mom with mental illness is nearly. So I recorded the rest of this video earlier. Sorry. And my husband got home and dealt with like a little meltdown because I, had a day. But so what advice do you have? She's okay, guys. For moms who have, or for the people who deal with the moms with mental illness, what advice do you have for them?
I think the biggest thing is just make sure that you're there for them emotionally, mentally, allowing them to express their day with you, and then take as much off of them as possible. Like this little one right here, taking her into another room, giving the mom a break, be able to spend some quiet time. I think that's the best thing for it. That's what I got.
So thank you guys for watching today's video. I apologize, it's kind of a Debbie Downer video, but it's something I've been wanting to do because mental illness impacts so many moms and so many people in general, and I refuse to let it define me as a person and as a mother. So thank you guys for watching, and tune in for more videos.